Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are doing absolutely well. So guys, this is part 2 of our series, that is GCP ACE real exam questions. I have already covered some of around 20 questions in the first video. If you have not checked that, make sure to check that. Before starting the video, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel and you will find a series of GCP ACE in the playlist section. You can check all the relevant videos over there. Let's start with our first question for today. So the first question is, you significantly changed the complex deployment manager template and want to confirm that the dependencies of all the defined resources are properly met before committing to the project. You want the most rapid feedback on your changes. What should you do? So we have the 4 options. So it is asked that you want the most rapid feedback of your changes. So the correct answer for this question will be option D, because here we are using the preview option. So the correct answer is execute the deployment manager template using the preview option in the same project and observe the state of interdependent resources. Moving on to the next question. So again we have a question, you are building a pipeline to process time series data. Which Google Cloud Platform services should you put in boxes 1, 2, 3 and 4? So we have to find out the services that should come in these places. So the correct answer for this will be, so first of all, for storage it should come as Bigtable, Cloud Bigtable. For analytics it should be BigQuery, and remaining is Cloud PubSub in first place and Cloud Dataflow in second place. The correct answer for this question is also option D. Moving ahead, you have a project for your app engine application that serves a development environment. The required testing has succeeded and you want to create a new project to serve as your production environment. What should you do? So the options we have are, use gcloud to create the new project and then deploy your application to the new project. The second is, use gcloud to create the new project and to copy the deployed application to the new project. So option 3 is, create a deployment manager configuration file that copies the current app engine deployment into a new project. And option 4 is, deploy your application again using gcloud and specify the project parameter with the new project name to create the new project. The correct answer for this is option A, that is, you have to use the gcloud to create the new project and then deploy your application that you have to deploy on the new project. Okay, moving ahead, the next question is, you need to configure IAM access audit logging in BigQuery for external auditors. You want to follow Google's recommended practices. What should you do? So the correct answer for this question is option A, that is, you have to add the auditors to the group. You have to add the auditors group to the logging viewer and BigQuery data viewer predefined IAM roles. Okay, so you have to add the auditors group to these 2 roles. Okay, so make sure there is a difference between the option C and option A, because many candidates does this mistake that they select C for this answer, that is, add the auditor user account to the logging viewer and BigQuery data viewer predefined IAM roles. Here they are talking about auditor user account and not the auditor group. So you have to select this this option where it is given that auditors group. Moving ahead, you need to set up permissions for a set of compute engine instance to enable them to write data into a particular cloud storage bucket. You want to follow Google's recommended practices. What should you do? So the correct answer for this will be option number C, that is, you have to create a service account and then add it to IAM role storage object creator for that bucket. Okay, so the role that you have to select is storage object creator. So the correct answer is option C. Moving ahead to the next question now. So this question is, you have sensitive data stored in 3 cloud storage buckets and have enabled data access logging. You want to verify activities for a particular user of these buckets using the fewest possible steps. You need to verify the addition of metadata labels and which files have been viewed from those buckets. What should you do? So you have the options as, using GCP console, filter the activity log to view the information. Option B is, using the GCP console, filter the stack driver log to view the information. Option C is, view the bucket in the storage section of the GCP console. And option D is, create a trace in the stack driver to view the information. So the most probable answer in this case is amongst option A and B. Let's check what is the correct answer. So you can see the correct answer is option A, that is, you have to, using the GCP console, filter the activity log to view the information. Okay, let's move ahead to the next question now. So you are the project owner of a GCP project and want to delegate control to the colleagues to manage buckets and files in the cloud storage. You want to follow Google's recommended practices. Which IAM role should you grant your colleagues? So there are different roles like project editor, storage admin, storage object admin, and storage object creator. So first of all, you need to know what is the role that you have to give. That is, you want to delegate control to colleagues to manage the buckets and files. Okay, so for this you will give the storage admin. So admin role will be sufficient for this purpose. Okay, so storage admin is the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. You have an object in a cloud storage bucket that you want to share with an external company. The object contains sensitive data. You want access to the content to be removed after 4 hours. The external company does not have a Google account to which you can grant a specific user based access privileges. You want to use the most secure method that requires the fewest steps. What should you do? So make note of it that the external company does not have a Google account to which you can grant a specific user based access privileges. So you want to use the most secure method amongst these. So the correct answer for this is option A. That is, what you will do is you will create a signed URL with a 4-hour expiration and share the URL with the company. So what will happen is after 4 hours the URL will expire. Moving ahead to the next question. You are creating a Google Kubernetes engine, that is GKE cluster, with a cluster autoscaler feature enabled. You need to make sure that each node of the cluster will run a monitoring pod that sends container metrics to a third party monitoring solution. What should you do? So the options are: deploy the monitoring pod into a stateful set object. Option B is deploy the monitoring pod into a daemon set project. Option C is reference the monitoring pod into a deployment object, and option D is reference the monitoring pod in a cluster initializer at the GKE cluster creation time. Okay, so here we need to deploy it. So deploy the monitoring pod in a daemon set object is the correct answer for it, which is option number B. So option B is the correct answer. Moving ahead to the next question. You want to send and consume cloud PubSub message from your app engine application. The cloud PubSub API is currently disabled. You will use a service account to authenticate your application to the API. You want to make sure your application can use cloud PubSub. What should you do? Okay, so we have different options. So the main question over here is you want to make sure that your application can use cloud PubSub. Okay, so the correct answer is you have to enable the cloud PubSub API in the API library on the GCP console. The correct answer for this is option A. Moving ahead to the next question now. So next question is, you need to monitor resources that are distributed over different projects in a Google Cloud platform. You want to consolidate reporting under the same stack driver monitoring dashboard. What should you do? So we have different options over here. The correct answer for this question is option number C, that is configure a single stack driver account and link all the projects to the same account. Okay, so make sure that you understand the difference between option C and option D carefully and select the answer as option C. Moving ahead. You are deploying an application to a compute engine virtual machine in a managed instance group. The application must be running at all the times, but only a single instance of the virtual machine should run per GCP project. How should you configure the instance group? So we have different options. That is, first one is set the auto scaling to on, set the minimum number of instance to 1, and set the maximum number of instance to 1. So yes, this is only the correct answer. That is option A is the correct answer. So auto scaling should be on and the minimum and the maximum number of instances should be set to 1. Moving ahead to the next question. You want to verify the IAM users and roles assigned with the GCP project name my project. What should you do? So we have different options. So first of all, the question is you want to verify the IAM users and roles. Okay, so the correct answer for this is option D. Navigate to the project and then roles section in the GCP console. Review the roles and status. So you have to navigate to the project and then to the roles section, and you have to review the roles and status, because in the question only it is said that you want to verify users and roles. So you will not review members and roles, instead you will review roles and status. So option D is the correct answer. Moving ahead, you need to create a new billing account and link it with an existing Google Cloud Platform project. What should you do? You have different options given to you. So the correct amongst these are option number B. Verify that your project billing manager verify that you are the project billing manager for the GCP project. Create a new billing account and link the new billing account to the existing project. Okay, so option A can also be an answer for it, but option B is the most accurate for this one. That is why we will select option B as the correct answer. Okay, moving ahead, you have one project called Proj SA where you manage all your service accounts. You want to be able to use a service account from this project to take snapshots of virtual machine running in another project called Proj VM. What should you do? Okay, so let's see the correct answer for this. The correct answer for this is option C, that is you have to grant the service account the IM role of the compute engine admin in the project called VM, which is the second project. So you have, for this project you have to give this role, okay, compute storage admin. Moving ahead, you created a Google Cloud Platform project with an App Engine application inside the project. You initially configured the application to be served from US Central region. Now you want the application to be served from Asia Northeast 1. What should you do? So basically what you are doing is you are changing the region. So the correct answer is option D, create a new GCP project and create an App Engine application inside this new project. Specify Asia Northeast 1 as the region to serve your application. Okay. Moving ahead, you need to grant access for 3 users so that they can view and edit table data on a Cloud Spanner instance. What should you do? The correct answer is option B, that is you have to run gcloud im role describe roles / spanner.database user and add the users to a new group and add the group to that role. Make sure that you do not select the answer 1 as the answer for this question, because option 1 is the answer for this question, because here it is said that you have to add the users to a new group first and then you have to add the group to the role. So option B will be the correct answer. Moving ahead, you create a new GKE cluster and want to make sure that it is always runs a supported and stable version of Kubernetes. What should you do? The correct answer for this is option B. You have to enable the auto upgrade feature for your GKE cluster. Next question is, you have an instance group that you want to load balance. You want the load balance to terminate the client SSL session. The instance group is used to serve a public web application over HTTPS. You want to follow Google's recommended practices. What should you do? So this is a very simple question. You have to configure an HTTPS load balancer as you want your application over HTTPS. It is clearly mentioned the instance group is used to serve a public web application over HTTPS. That is why you will configure an HTTPS load balancer. Moving on to the next question, you have 32 GB of data in a single file that you need to upload to a nearline storage bucket. The WAN connection you are using is rated as 1 Gbps and you are the only one on the connection. You want to use as much of rated 1 Gbps as possible to transfer the file rapidly. How should you upload the file? So the correct answer for this is option B, that is you will enable parallel composite uploads using gsutil on the file transfer. So with this we have covered all the questions in this video, and I am going to bring another part for you for more real life questions or that were asked in the exams. So already 2 videos are covered, and I would suggest you, before you are going to attempt your GCP A certification, make sure that you once check all these questions, because it is very high probability that 90% or 80 to 90% of the questions are going to be from these videos only. Thanks for watching the video, and if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel.